Welcome! In this video, we will tackle about the new Anti Carnapping Act of 2016, Republic Act number 10883, an act providing for the new anti-carnapping law of the Philippines, also known as the new Anti Carnapping Act of 2016, is a law which punishes carnapping in the Philippines. What is carnapping? RA 10883 punishes the crime of carnapping, which refers to the taking, with intent to gain, of a motor vehicle belonging to another without the latter's consent, or by means of violence against or intimidation of persons, or by using force upon things. For purposes of knowing what carnapping is, one must be able to know what motor vehicle is in the first place. Section 2, Paragraph E of RA 10883 defines motor vehicle as any vehicle propelled by any power other than muscular power using the public highways. Note that the following are not embraced in the definition of a motor vehicle under the law and thus cannot be the subject of carnapping, to wit: road rollers, trolley cars, street sweepers, sprinklers, lawn mowers, bulldozers, graders, forklifts, amphibian trucks, and cranes if not used on public highways, vehicles which run only on rails or tracks, and tractors, trailers, and traction engines of all kinds used exclusively for agricultural purposes. Carnapping compared with robbery or theft under the revised penal code. The anti-carnapping law is a special law different from the crimes of robbery and theft. It particularly addresses the taking, with intent to gain, of a motor vehicle belonging to another without the latter's consent, or by means of violence against or intimidation of persons, or by using force upon things. The anti-carnapping law particularly deals with theft and robbery of motor vehicle. Hence, a motor vehicle is said to have been carnapped when it has been taken with intent to gain, without the owner's consent, whether the taking was done with or without violence against or intimidation of person, or by using force upon things. Without the anti-carnapping law, such unlawful taking of a motor vehicle would fall into the purview of either theft or robbery. The presumption that the accused authored the carnapping arises the moment that the accused's possession of a motor vehicle is unsatisfactorily explained. In order for an accused to be convicted of the crime of carnapping, punishable under Republic Act number 10883, the following elements must be successfully proven by the prosecution. First, that there be an actual taking of the vehicle. Second, that the motor vehicle belongs to a person other than the offender himself. Third, that the taking is without consent of the owner thereof, or that the taking was committed by means of violence against or intimidation of persons, or by using force upon things. And lastly, that the offender intends to gain from the taking of the vehicle. In the first element, must be indisputably shown by the prosecution that there is voluntary, felonious, and malicious taking of the vehicle belonging to another, that would allow the accused to place said vehicle under his control and in such a situation as he could dispose of it at once. In the second element, the prosecution has the burden of proof in establishing that the accused has the material or physical possession of the vehicle belonging to another person other than himself, but not the juridical possession thereof. If the accused has the juridical possession of the said vehicle, he cannot be convicted of carnapping, but can possibly be liable for estafa. In the third element, there are three modes where carnapping can be committed. First, taking without the real consent of the owner, that is, there is lack of consent freely given by the owner of the vehicle. Second, taking was committed by means of violence against or intimidation of persons. And third, by using force upon things, that is, the accused employs force upon things to obtain the material possession of the vehicle. In the last element, it is imperative that intent to gain is proven, which is presumed from the unlawful taking of the personal property. Taking the vehicle without the consent of its owner constitutes taking with intent to gain, because by using things We derive from them utility, satisfaction, and pleasure, or what amounts to the same thing, real gain. However, real gain is not necessary in carnapping because what the law requires is a mere intent to deprive the owner of utilizing his vehicle. An accused who is found guilty of carnapping shall, regardless of the value of the motor vehicle taken, be punished by imprisonment for not less than 20 years and 1 day, but not more than 30 years, when carnapping is committed without violence against or intimidation of persons or force upon things. Imprisonment for not less than 30 years and 1 day, but not more than 40 years, when the carnapping is committed by means of violence against or intimidation of persons or force upon things. The penalty of life imprisonment shall be imposed when the owner, driver, or occupant of the carnap motor vehicle is killed or raped in the commission of the carnapping. In order for an accused to be punished under this penalty, it must be put beyond doubt that in the course of the carnapping, or in the occasion thereof, someone is killed or raped. Failure of the prosecution to overcome this, the accused cannot be convicted of the special complex crime of carnapping with homicide or rape. Now that we have covered the elements of carnapping, let us proceed to the punishable acts under the anti-carnapping law. First, we have carnapping itself, or the taking of the motor vehicle belonging to another without the latter's consent or by means of violence against or intimidation of persons or by using force upon things. This is similar to robbery and theft, except that the object unlawfully taken is a motor vehicle. Second, the concealment of carnapping. This is done by any person who conceals the crime of carnapping as previously mentioned. This is a new addition to the punishable acts under the new Anti Carnapping Act of 2016. Fifth, the law punishes the act of transferring or using a vehicle plate from one vehicle to another without securing the proper authority from the LTO. Fourth, also another addition to the new anti-carnapping law is to cause or to allow the sale, registration, and or transfer into another name the chassis number, engine number, and plate number of a motor vehicle declared as total wreck, or that which is beyond economic repair by a concerned insurance company or law enforcement agencies due to its involvement in a vehicular accident or for some other causes. Third, defacing or tampering with serial numbers of motor vehicle engines, engine blocks, and chassis. Every manufactured vehicle has an original factory inscribed serial numbers on the motor vehicle engine, engine block, or chassis, and which is recorded in the Bureau of Customs for vehicles imported in the Philippines. Whenever a vehicle is found to have a serial number different from that which is listed in the records of the government, the perpetrator shall be punished according to the law. That's about it for the new anti-carnapping law. I hope this video has entertained and but most importantly educated you. It always pays to be educated, so I hope you guys also spread the word and inform others of this law. Thank you.